Good evening, dear viewers of Equinoxe TV. Thank you so much for tuning to this edition of the 6 p.m. primetime newscast. For presentation, I am Immaculate Fogwe. First, our major stories. Residents of Douala are concerned about the high cost of living that is currently affecting many Cameroonians, especially lower class. They say that they are merely surviving and are now calling on the government to step in by salvaging the situation so that life can be a bit bearable for them. You'll be getting their reactions in this edition of the news. And over to the southwest region of Cameroon, the population have been called upon to shun all security threats by not respecting the announced separatist lockdown expected to begin on Friday, September 30th, ahead of the October 1st Independence Day celebration. Governor Bernard Kalabilai was speaking during a Southwest Regional Security Coordination meeting. Those are major stories. Stay with us for details and more. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. You made the right choice by tuning to the 6 p.m. edition of the news. So begin with the Anglophone crisis. The effects of this crisis is still very much felt in Manu division of the southwest region of the country. Besides the fact that school is not very effective, most of the school-going children have dropped out of school due to limited finance, a situation that has made the girl child very vulnerable and exposed. Mala Glory tells us more about the challenges faced by those living in this part of the country.
Female teenagers of Manu division in the southwest region have greatly been affected by the more than 6 years armed conflict. Many whose parents died in the war became orphans and they dropped out of school, a situation that has made the girl child in Manu vulnerable. The paramount ruler of Manu and a practicing doctor says the rate of childbirth in Manu division is alarming.
There have been many challenges, especially in the domain of healthcare delivery. The crisis has come with a lot of poverty.
Our children have been suffering so much. Most of them have dropped out of schools. Some of them have run away from their villages and they are now in town. They don't even know where to stay.
Those who are fortunate to travel to other towns to pursue their education face financial constraints and limited space from the receiving institution.
Most often, they run to the office for financial assistance. Most of them cannot afford the textbooks that are needed.
Even in their schools, they don't even have space. Learning space are not there.
In a way to assist these vulnerable female teenagers, the Moa Manu women from the United States organized a one-day capacity building workshop in the Manfi town to educate the girl child on surviving within the crisis context.
This project that they have come up in Manu is a very great thing. Like Oliver Twist will keep on asking for more because the children are so many here.
The Manu women promised to assist 800 students and sanitary pads distributed at the end of the workshop. However, the people of Manu say more needs to be done to improve on the living condition of these children.
And we stay in the southwest region where the population have been charged to terrorize the terrorists and frustrate the separatist announced lockdown of Friday, September 30th ahead of October 1st, 2023. The call came from the governor of the southwest region, Bernard Kalabilai, during the Southwest Regional Security Coordination meeting. Femi Armstrong Sanda with the details.
Terrorize the terrorists was the key message from Mr. Bernard Kalabilai, governor of the southwest region, to the population of the region. The governor was speaking as he channeled the message through administrative, security, traditional, religious and elected stakeholders of the region at the Southwest Regional Security Coordination meeting in Buea.
Political leaders and a cross-section of locally elected officials.
Addressing the separatist announced lockdown ahead of October 1st, 2023, the governor said the power of the region lies in the hands of the local population.
And calling on our children that they should adhere to what the head of state has said, that they should come back home lay down their arms and be reintegrated into normal life.
Despite the pace and the dilemma of the population in related lockdown period, the governor warned against closed shops and business activities before and immediately after October 1st, 2023.
Tougher and tougher on a daily basis as the prices of foodstuffs continue to skyrocket in our local markets. Some think the market is now becoming an affair of the rich, as it is now practically impossible to cook a good meal with a sum of 5,000 francs. Traders, on their part, blame the bad state of farm-to-market roads and also the bad state of farm-to-market roads and also the fact that transportation cost has increased, causing many of them to resort to increasing the prices of these basic commodities. Innocent Aze reports.
Those in Douala say standard of living keeps declining every day due to exorbitant prices of foodstuffs on the local market.
1 cup beans, see when my mommy bought me that small cup, so 350.
A small cup of beans cost 350 francs and the 22,000 francs CFA for a bucket. It is unbearable. A bucket of maize is sold at 6,500 or 7,000 francs. We can't even eat contraf again, just like Aero. A bundle of water leaves is 500 francs.
1 bundle water leaf, 500.
Le tapioca, le seau était à 5 000. Nous sommes à 9 000 francs le seau du tapioca.
Today, a household finds it difficult to prepare a meal with the sum of 5,000 francs CFA. Low-income earners are forced to believe the market is known for the rich. I have been parading the market with my poor 2,000 francs CFA, but I have seen nothing to buy.
We are poor 2,000, 3,000, you don't get it for buy them.
On rationnait une femme à 1500. Elle parvenait à préparer sa banane malaxée. Maintenant, si tu n'as pas 5 000, tu ne peux pas manger la banane malaxée chez toi.
Traders defend themselves by saying,
c'est parce que ça ne sort pas beaucoup énormément en bourse.
Farm produce are limited and at times scarce, so with the rise in demand, prices automatically increase. This is coupled with the very bad state of roads and rise in fuel and transportation costs.
C'est ça qui fait les choses sont chères.
To these households, Cameroon has crossed the red line, and if the government keeps massaging the present economic situation, Cameroonians of the underprivileged class will begin to starve to death.
And still in Douala, the population of the Kolbong neighborhood are still in shock following the death of 2 young men who died in the landslide. Residents blame the collapse on the fact that the house was built or constructed in a risk zone. Asia Lucy has the details.
It is on this side that 2 people, Beta Magloire, 19 years old, Beheten Etienne, 22 years old, lost their lives as a result of a landslide which occurred here in the Kolbong neighborhood on Tuesday, 27th of September. The landslide, which destroyed the house, causing the life of 2 people, remains a shock to the population. According to the residents of Kolbong, the walls of the house were poorly constructed. It says the house which collapsed was in a swampy area and also the walls couldn't sustain the weight. It was rather unfortunate that before the arrival of the emergency service, the 2 victims were stuck already in the rubble.
Nous devons éviter de construire dans les zones accidentées et marécageuses.
Their corpses are in the Logbaba mortuary for pending burial. It should be recalled that after the Mobile Guinness incident, which caused the lives of several people and others severely injured, the government promised to embark on an operation to ensure that houses constructed on risk zones are destroyed. The question on many lips is how far has the government gone with the operation?
And on to something else. No human being can give life. Thus, nobody is permitted to take away life because life is sacred. Those are the words of the rector of the St. Peter and Paul's Cathedral as the world observes the International Safe Abortion Day. Our reporter Annabella spoke to a medical doctor who says the consequences of abortion can be disastrous. Her report.
Termination of the life of a developing fetus is criminal and strictly punishable by the laws of Cameroon. The Roman Catholic Church also preaches against any form of killing. As the world observes the International Day for Safe Abortion, Reverend Father Bernard Onantonia, rector of the St. Peter and Paul's Cathedral, says human life is sacred and only God has the right to take away life.
La vie ne nous appartient pas, elle appartient à Dieu. Donc nous ne sommes que les gardiens de ces biens et particulièrement de la vie. L'Église nous enseigne que la vie est sacrée.
Barrister Charlotte Chakunte, lawyer and human rights advocate, explains that involuntary abortion for health reasons or as a result of rape is not punishable, but voluntary abortion is against the law.
En droit camerounais, c'est une infraction. C'est une infraction et c'est pour cela que l'article 337 du Code pénal punit toute personne qui volontairement met un terme à l'évolution d'une grossesse.
Professor Bertrand Bachou, a medical expert, tells us that the negative consequences of abortion are far-reaching.
So bleeding is one of the consequences of abortion. You can bleed up to severe anemia, which can lead to death. We also have infections of the genitourinary tract.
Again, according to the Cameroonian Penal Code, anybody found guilty of committing abortion is fined between 5,000 to 1 million francs CFA and shall serve a prison term. Any medical doctor who is found guilty of the practice of abortion serves a prison term also of 15 days to 1 year. Besides that, the medical facility can also be shut down.
Nabila reporting there. French ambassador to Cameroon, General Thierry Marchand, has said Cameroonian and French judicial authorities are working together to shed more light on the circumstances of the recent death of senior consulate state, notably the link between his death and an alleged visa issuance scandal. He was speaking at the launching of a visa application center expected to ease and facilitate visa issuance procedures. Babla Jonathan reports.
The French embassy in Cameroon is working to fill the gap created by delays in visa issuance procedures resulting from the death of the Deputy Consul General, Christian André-Marie Oué. The brutal disappearance of our colleague Christian Oué deeply affected the staff of the Consulate General. It created trouble, delay. We have to resolve the delay now. That is what we are doing with the Consul General, who has been here for a month, trying to put the staff back on track. The alleged link between the death of the senior consulate staff and reported visa issuance scandals remains unclear. In response to questions during the launching of a visa application center in Douala, the French ambassador to Cameroon said he couldn't say much about the death of Christian Oué because it is very sensitive. Investigations are going on at the level of the Cameroonian judiciary and the French judiciary. Both institutions are working together. The visa application center, piloted by Teleperformance Company, is described as a major milestone in the modernization and facilitation of procedures to obtain a visa to travel to France in about 6 weeks for short-term visas and a little longer for long-term visas. It is probably a more transparent procedure, automatic and simplified. We are committed to give them a more favorable working environment with a series of services that will ease visa application. With 25,000 francs CFA, applicants have access to on- and offline assistance.
Over to sports, the president of Rangers of Bafut believes that the new football season that was launched on Wednesday won't get to a logical end. Judges Nebashu made a declaration during an interview he granted to Equinoxe TV, claiming that the non-respect of the decision of the Court of Arbitration for Sports will land the country's football into turmoil. Smaji Kangable tells us more.
Victoria United, alias One People One Power, started the Elite One Championship with a win over Old Boys, Feu Vazu of Yaoundé by 2-1. Even though things might have started well on the pitch, in the office, all is not still okay.
Things are not moving well. I think we need to sit down and talk as one family before we can go ahead with the football, because things are not really moving well.
Before the start of the season, the Court of Arbitration for Sports had ruled that the Professional Football League of Cameroon should take over the supervision of the league. But surprisingly, the committee created by FECAFOOT's president still sits tight.
It's only in Cameroon that we don't respect the law, because the professional league led by Semenge should organize the league, but FECAFOOT is adamant. I don't know their reason, but with the way things are going, I'm not sure that the league will go in a smooth way, because we need to really respect the law and then see a way forward.
Notwithstanding his stance, the president of Rangers of Bafut says FECAFOOT has its role in Cameroon's football.
You have to register to the FECAFOOT, because Semenge League is not producing licenses. FECAFOOT is the one giving licenses, so all of us have to register and then play the same league.
The president of Rangers of Bafut is suspecting the silence kept by CAF and FIFA.
It seems there's too much mafia in this football, because I don't know. Look at how things are being done in Cameroon. Look at FIFA is just silent, CAF is just silent. So I don't know whether they are protecting somebody's interest or they are just waiting for their own time. I don't know, because starting this league like this, I'm not sure that the league will end.
With the launch of the new season already given by the committee that was created by Samuel Etofis, General Pierre Semenge's LFPC plans to launch the new season next October 16th, 2023.
And greater details about this new season or sports season in the second part of the news. Up next is our talking point. Tonight on Talking Point, I'll be receiving George Nebashu. He is the president of Rangers of Bafut. Good evening to you. The Elite One Championship was launched yesterday, Wednesday. As a president of a club, what's your overall appreciation of the activities?
Good evening, Immaculate. Thank you for that pertinent question. As you earlier said, the league was launched. We still have differences to sort out. We still have areas that are not yet paid. We still have internal fightings. We still have so many things to solve before we can say the league is officially launched.
George, you just mentioned the fact that things are not moving well. Your club, Rangers of Bafut, has been in the League 2 Championship for several years now. How different is the current administration as far as the management of football affairs is concerned?
Concerning Rangers FC, we are there just trying to see if we can put the team in a good shape, because when we are talking about professional football, we are still not that really professional. We still have a lot to learn, and then we have a lot to put in place. And then concerning the federation, there are so many things that they still have to put in place for us to have a good football in Cameroon, because they are just there making promises, putting blames on presidents, but things are not moving very comfortably.
Now, recently, the Court of Arbitration for Sports ruled that the Professional Football League of Cameroon be given back the powers that enables them to control the activities of the Elite 1 and 2 championships. But power struggle between General Pierre Semenge and that of FECAFOOT President Samuel Etofis seems to be bringing some sort of misunderstandings. During with those misunderstandings now, let's say during the launch of the new season, LFC was absent. What explains that power struggle?
As I'm concerned, the league was launched. For me, it's not really a league, because I don't even know who is organizing the league, because there are clubs that they are not yet registered, and a communique was signed by the AG of FECAFOOT saying clubs have not yet registered, that they should try every possible means to register. But now we are talking about launching a league without any modalities, without any criteria. Nothing has put in place for us to play the league comfortable. So for me, they have not yet launched the league, so we still have a lot to talk about, bring all the families together, sit as one family, and then look for a way forward.
Then, in the League One Championship, at least 19 clubs are known to be official, given that they have a license. But during a meeting held in Douala, we noticed more than 19 clubs. Is it that some clubs were sidelined from playing under the temporal committee set up by the president of FECAFOOT?
As I earlier said, football governing body is FECAFOOT. We need to follow the right channel. Professional league doesn't have the capability of issuing license. Only FECAFOOT can issue the license. So we are on the right track. You have to pay your affiliation or through the FECAFOOT, then the FECAFOOT will transfer it to the professional body to run the league. So all of us are still following the same track. But we are playing a league that the texts have not yet been adopted by the General Assembly, because after every coming season, you have to channel the text of the league to the General Assembly to adopt. So that's why I said, for me, it's not the launching of the league. We still have a lot to do. So we should not be in a hurry that, because the Federation said the league was going to start on the 30th of September. So I don't know their reason bringing it at the 27th to start. So there's something wrong. So we are just watching and see what will happen.
George Neba, you are one of those who have been revendicating that the Professional Football League in Cameroon gets back its grip in the management of the affairs of championships. We know plans are being made to launch the federation next month. What is your take on that matter?
Before coming to the professional league, you know, the problem is the club president. We are not united. We are some of us are just there playing game, trying to see if it's good this way, they go this way. If it's bad, that's not how football is being run in Cameroon. Because look at the situation we find ourselves. We should always be together. We should not always think that somebody is perfect or we are there because of something. We should work as a team. Now, we are going back to the professional team, professional league. We still have a lot to put in place and see if we can talk with our leader. Because the best way to go out of this mess is we should come together as one family, sit together and talk. We can be going back to the professional league. Professional league is not perfect, but at least we should respect the Lord. The Lord says they should go back to professional league. At least they should run for 9 months, and then we'll see the way forward. We should respect the Lord. We should not be dancing up and down, wasting time for nothing. Because after everything, we are the ones suffering. Because we are training players since Rangers FC, for example, started training last month, and we are training. We don't even know when we'll play. So when all these are going like this, the clubs are the one, and the presidents are the ones suffering. So we should sit as a family, and then let the professional league organize the league. Then after the 9 months of General Semengen, then we'll see a way forward. So this infighting will not help us.
Talking about the infighting, years back, the amount paid by official sponsors were made public. Is it the same case now?
Concerning the sponsorship in Cameroon, we are just lost. Because you cannot be talking about sponsor, you don't know the amount. And talking about consideration, they are still playing with MTN and one Eastberg on the J-Seat. So we have not even, because for me to put MTN as an official sponsor, I already need to know what is there, what are they providing before going on to put it on my J-Seat. Because I'm selling their image, you cannot impose on me to put something that I don't know what I'm gaining or what is the way forward.
And now, let's now discuss on the match fixing saga. Last football season, there were some complaints made in this regard. How true are the allegations?
Concerning the match fixing, last year was really a fiasco. But for me, I really need this was we should stop this fighting. They have already go to first division. We should sit down, forget about what have passed, and look for a way forward, because if we keep on talking about the past, we will not move forward. But we should really call everybody, because there are teams that were suspended. Even Rangers, president of Rangers FC was suspended because of something I don't know. So we should really sit down, and they should not only look the presidents or the federation to sit down, call all the referees, put them in place and say, okay, these people are spending a lot of money. They should at least refer the matches very well, because you cannot be starting a league knowing already that this person will qualify next year. So what is the reason of playing the ball? So that's the problem.
George Nebashu, president of Rangers FC, baffled. And that will put an end to today's edition of the 6 p.m. primetime newscast on Equinoxe Television. Thank you so much, dear viewers, for your time. Have a wonderful evening in the company of more interesting programs on ETV.